the most prestigious award in the NBA, the MVP, the most valuable player. And this man has just won it back-to-back years. He's also had the best record in the league twice. He's also got an NBA championship. And he's only 27 years old. Folks, we have been sleeping on Shai Gilgeous-Alexander for way too long. And today we're fixing that, because it's long overdue. It is time to talk about Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Let's go back to the beginning. Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. A kid named Shavante Aishin Gilgeous-Alexander. Yes, that's his full name. Grows up with basketball in his blood. Both parents were athletes. His cousin, Nickeil Alexander Walker, would also make it to the NBA. This was always going to be a basketball family. He gets to Kentucky for 1 year to play college ball. 1 year. And he owns the SEC tournament. Drops 29 on Tennessee in the title game and walks away with the SEC tournament MVP honors. We should have seen it coming. Then comes draft night 2018. The Charlotte Hornets grab him with the 11th overall pick, and then immediately trade him to the Los Angeles Clippers on draft night. And just like that, SGA's NBA journey begins. His rookie season? Solid. 10.8 points per game. He started every single playoff game for the Clippers. You could already see the IQ, the footwork, the calm, but nobody knew what was coming. Here's where the story gets wild. July 2019. The Clippers are chasing Kawhi Leonard. They want Paul George too. So they call Oklahoma City, and they give up SGA, Danilo Gallinari, and 5 first-round picks. 5 first-round picks for Paul George. Now, the Clippers thought they were winning that trade, and honestly, at the time, most people agreed. SGA was a promising young player, but Paul George was an all-star. Years later, Clippers coach Doc Rivers admitted, and I'm not making this up, he told the front office,
"We're getting Kawhi and Paul George." Was happy. Having said that, I did bring it up, and I did say, man, can we give them somebody else?
Doc knew. He tried to warn them. OKC took SGA and all those picks and started rebuilding immediately. And what happened next? One of the greatest player development stories in NBA history. In OKC's rebuilding era, SGA was the guy. He dragged them to a surprise playoff appearance in the 2020 bubble, averaging 19 points a game. And the next 2 seasons, he hovered around 24 points per game. The tools were obvious. The long, 6'6" frame, the footwork, the ability to get to the line at will, the floater that absolutely ruins big men's nights. But then came along the 2023 season. SGA erupts for 31.4 points per game, 4th best in the whole league. And now people couldn't dismiss him anymore. He was a legitimate star. He made his first All-Star game, and suddenly, OKC wasn't just rebuilding, they were rising. The Thunder had been quietly hoarding draft capital, drafting incredibly well and developing talent from the ground up. And SGA was the flag that they were planting at the top of that hill. Okay, 2024 to 2025. This is when the world fully woke up. SGA puts up 32.7 points per game, the most in the entire league. He leads the Oklahoma City Thunder to a 68-14 record, the best record in the league, by a mile. He wins Western Conference Finals MVP. And then, he wins the NBA championship. And he wins Finals MVP. The kid from Hamilton, Ontario, the guy the Clippers gave away for 5 draft picks, an NBA champion, an MVP, at just 26 years old. But here's the thing, he wasn't done. This past season, SGA did something that only 13 players in the history of the NBA have ever done before him. He won back-to-back MVP awards. Think about this list for a second. Bill Russell, Wilt Chamberlain, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Stephen Curry, Giannis, Jokic, and now Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. And here's what makes it even more impressive. He didn't do it with flashy numbers. He did it by getting better. His scoring technically dipped slightly from a 32.7 points per game to 31.1 points per game. But his shooting efficiency, 55.3% from the field, 38.6 from 3, and 87.9 from the free throw line. The only other player in NBA history to shoot those percentages on more than 250 shots? Kevin Durant. And Durant did it in 47 games. SGA did it in 68. He averaged the second most points in the league, only behind Luka Doncic. But here's the wild part. He ranked 42nd in the league in touches per game. He was scoring nearly 1 point for every 2 times he touched the ball. That's not scoring, that's sorcery. He set a new career high at 6.6 assists per game. He didn't score below 20 points in a single game all season, joining only Wilt Chamberlain and Elgin Baylor in that exclusive club. He scored 40 or more 8 times. Yes, 8 times. And he did all of this while his co-star Jalen Williams missed all but 33 games with a wrist injury. SGA carried that team on his back to 64 wins, the best record in the NBA, again. He beat out Nikola Jokic, who averaged a triple-double for the second straight year and made literal history doing it, and Victor Wembanyama, who won Defensive Player of the Year unanimously and led the Spurs to a 62-win season. Those are 2 generational talents, and SGA still walked away with the trophy. He's now the 16th player in NBA history to win multiple MVP awards, and only the 5th guard to ever do it back-to-back, joining Magic Johnson, Michael Jordan, Steve Nash, and Steph Curry. That is the tier we are talking about. Let's zoom out for a second and really appreciate what we're watching. SGA is 27 years old. Every MVP since Derrick Rose in 2011 has been between the age of 24 and 28. Shai is still in that window. Historically, this is the peak of his prime. His run from 2024 to 2026 is already being called one of the greatest individual 2-year stretches by a guard in NBA history. A champion, a finals MVP, 2 regular season MVPs, and arguably the best player on the planet right now. He's also Canada's second back-to-back MVP, following in the footsteps of Steve Nash. For a country that gave us the sport, shout out James Naismith, that's a beautiful full circle moment. Now here's where it gets even crazier, because we're not talking about a player in the rearview mirror, we're talking about right now. As of today, the OKC Thunder are in the Western Conference Finals. They have yet to lose a game in these playoffs, and they are facing the San Antonio Spurs, the team led by Victor Wembanyama, the same guy who finished second in MVP voting in what is shaping up to be one of the most anticipated series in years. SGA has a $285 million Supermax extension locked in. He is the cornerstone of a franchise that many are already calling the next NBA dynasty. They are young, deep, well-coached, and absolutely loaded. Can he three-peat as MVP? History says it's incredibly hard. Only Russell, Chamberlain, and Bird have ever won 3 in a row. Even Jordan and LeBron couldn't do it. But nobody gave SGA much of a chance to get here either. Can he win back-to-back championships? If this Thunder team stays healthy and keeps developing, the answer is absolutely yes. The ceiling here is not just great player, the ceiling is all-time great, top 10 all-time conversation, and he's 27. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is not an underdog story anymore. He is the story. The best player in the world, one of the faces of the NBA, a 2-time NBA MVP, and a champion. And the scariest part? He might just be getting started. If you've been sleeping on SGA, wake up, because you're watching history right now in real time.